Tonight, applications for a new statewide education program are officially open. Hear what this means to students and parents alike.
Plus, how Boone County is offering more mental health support resources.
And Columbia city leaders are making sure the expansion of Interstate 70 is safe and accessible. This is KOMU 8 News at 10.
Coverage you can count on. KOMU 8 News starts now.
We have a good community and we're surrounded by people who actually care.
A $1,500 grant aimed to help low-income families became available today. Good evening, everyone. I'm Emily Spain.
And I'm Evie Allen. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. The funds give eligible families money to use for educational expenses. KOMU 8's Shay Lawson joins us in studio now to tell us who's eligible and what it can be used for. Shay.
The program is called the Close the Gap Grant, and low-income families will be the first in line to get the money. For instance, a family with 4 members qualify if their annual income is around $55,000. Families are eligible if their student is a Missouri resident, in grades K through 12, and enrolled in either a Missouri public school or a charter school. The grant gives parents money to help pay for things like tutoring, internet connectivity, and art-related days or summer camps.
We have a good community and we're surrounded by people who actually care.
A community that cares about education.
So you see things called out like tutoring and additional academic services, online apps, arts programs, and enrichment type of activities.
Activities like the Columbia Art League's after-school program.
We have classes here for kids on Saturdays. We also do after-school programming for littles and also middle school kiddos.
Art has always helped Kelsey Hammond learn.
I learned art history because for me, history made more sense when I had pictures to go along with it.
And with the extra money, more kids have this opportunity.
It could just unlock a new experience.
Love this one so much.
Hammond says the Close the Gap grant is incredible.
The more funding we have for the arts to enrich kids' lives and adults and everybody in between just helps us have a better understanding about our own life and other people's lives.
She says art helps visual learners.
The arts in general are a great way for people to ground themselves, to get more interested, to get more engaged in the regular subjects that maybe you weren't as interested in before.
The grant also funds other educational opportunities.
Tutoring, academic camps, additional learning services or materials, and that also includes computer equipment, internet connectivity, anything like that.
One mother of 8 says this money will take weight off her family's shoulders.
I think it's fantastic. I think that us and all sorts of families could definitely benefit from having any sort of financial help for school.
Applications opened today and will remain open until October 25th. Parents need to create an Odyssey account to submit that application. In the studio, Shay Lawson, KOMU 8 News.
We are watching the radar. It was a pretty rainy picture this morning, but if you stepped outside, radar might have looked a little worse than it actually was because the rain was very, very light as we were expecting. Now it's pretty much off to the east and things have really calmed down. A loop over the last hour shows that's now pretty much into Illinois, maybe a stray shower over St. Louis. Things quiet here in mid-Missouri. Temperatures cooling off too. 65 in Fayette, 67 in Warrensburg. Upper 60s still at this hour in Kansas City. You can tell that they saw some afternoon sunshine while most of mid-Missouri did not. Low 60s for the rest of us. Tomorrow we start the day near 60 degrees. I think we'll have a mix of sunshine and cloud cover through the day. We'll go partly to mostly cloudy skies, but you'll see some sunshine. Temperatures near 80 in the afternoon. We're tracking these milder temperatures and more rain for this weekend coming up.
Okay, thanks, Matt. It's day 2 for the trial of a Rocheport woman accused of sex trafficking her daughter.
Authorities say Renee Collins trafficked her teenage daughter out of her room out of a motel in exchange for drugs and money. This morning, testimony focused on the therapist who worked with the victim for 2 years after the incident happened. She says the victim had a hard time communicating with her and spoke in broken fragments. During therapy sessions with the victim, she says the teen recalled scenes from that night at the motel. The victim used dolls to show examples of what happened. We want to warn you, this audio you are about to hear may be disturbing.
I asked her what happened next and gave her the dolls. She took the female Barbie doll skirt off, laid her down facing up, and put the male Barbie doll on top of her facing down. She stated, "He humped me and it hurt down there."
Officials say Colin's boyfriend at the time also faces charges in this case. His trial is scheduled for January. We will be back in the courtroom tomorrow and we'll bring you updates on air and online at KOMU.com.
People in the Fulton area are getting more access to health care. Jefferson City Medical Group opened a new facility in Fulton on Monday. In mid-October, it will expand hours to help see more patients. Callaway County has been without an extended hours health care facility for a while. The SSM Health Clinic closed in 2020 and Callaway Community Hospital in 2022. The Jefferson City Medical Group spokesperson says there's a big need for the community for health care.
So this is a really big need. We have seen a lot of patients already, and that is with our temporary hours. So our full extended hours, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. through the week, and weekend hours won't start until mid-October. So we're really hoping that that will be even more convenient for the community.
Officials say they're already seeing a big patient turnout from the last 2 days and are hoping, like she mentioned, that those extended hours will be convenient when they begin in mid-October. Well, the Boone County Health Department is hoping to help residents with their mental health and substance abuse conditions through a special program.
KOMU 8's Leah Rainwater joins us now in studio to tell us about how Boone County program will benefit those who need extra support. Leah.
Emily, Evie, registration for the School of Hard Talks program opened up on Monday, and within the last few days, almost all of the positions have been filled. I spoke with one of the directors of the program who says that help starts with those who listen.
Motivational interviewing is a different style of communication that's especially utilized by healthcare providers. It's a different way of discussing possible motives and strategies for change.
The School of Hard Talks program evaluates different ways for caregivers to communicate to teens and adults with mental health and substance abuse conditions.
When someone says something and we think that's wrong, or their perception's wrong, or we think they shouldn't do it, we immediately have a comeback to want to correct them or give them advice or shut down that discussion.
Harlan says motivational interviewing is a way to understand those who need help by making them feel heard. But also, finding someone to talk to is more difficult in mid-Missouri.
I can tell you we get over 100 referrals a month. That has been consistent for, honestly, several years. Really saw an uptick after COVID, and it has not slowed down.
This graph behind me shows access to mental health care across the United States. Now, as you can see, Missouri is part of a darker group of colors, which means it's in the bottom ranks. That's because there hasn't been enough providers available to help those who may need it.
There will probably be a significant waiting period for someone who needs a mental health assessment and mental health care.
The School of Hard Talks is meant to teach people how to help themselves and others.
So let's equip them to take care of their mental health, and then also create perhaps a better environment for their loved one to sustain some mental health.
Harlan says that there will be other program sessions available in November. For more information on the School of Hard Talks program or mental health access in Missouri, visit our website at KOMU.com. In the studio, Leah Rainwater, KOMU 8 News.
All right, thank you, Leah. Well, beginning next month, people applying for Columbia City positions will no longer be subject to marijuana testing. That's according to our partners at the Columbia Missourian. City leaders reached a 4-year bargaining agreement with Liona Local 955. That's the union representing service and maintenance workers. Applicants for transportation, police, or fire personnel will still be subject to the testing.
In your national news tonight, the man accused of shooting a family of 4 in the Chicago suburbs was found dead in Oklahoma. Earlier today, police reported the suspect died from a gunshot wound after fleeing a traffic stop and crashing his car. Officers on the scene say they heard 2 gunshots. They later discovered the suspect dead in the driver's seat next to an injured female passenger. The city's deputy police chief says the car burst into flames after it crashed.
Local authorities located the vehicle and attempted to conduct a traffic stop. The vehicle immediately attempted to elude the officers, resulting in a single-car crash of the suspect vehicle, causing the vehicle to catch on fire.
Authorities say the female passenger, who was initially reported as missing and dangerous by her family, is in critical condition. U.S. Senator Josh Hawley rallied with a group at the Capitol building today regarding the radiation exposure around a Missouri elementary school.
Radiation is still impacting residents from St. Louis County from World War II. Local advocacy groups attended the rally at the U.S. Capitol. Senator Hawley says the current Radiation Compensation Exposure Act needs to be revised and should include federal compensation for the residents in St. Louis.
It's simple. You've developed the illnesses that are in the statute. You were there and exposed. You should have your medical bills taken care of by the federal government. That's what this would do.
Over the last 8 months, crews removed hundreds of truckloads of contaminated soil near the elementary school. Back in May, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers said there are no areas of radiology concerns in or around Jana Elementary School.
Coming up, Columbia City leaders want to make sure the I-70 expansion is safe for everyone. After the break, hear how they're making it happen.
Plus, getting a COVID-19 vaccine is getting more difficult. Find out why coming up.
And there was only a trace of rain at the airport today, less than a fifth, that would be 5/100ths rather of an inch. 70 was the high temperature, below average. We're talking about a warmer day tomorrow and warmer days ahead coming up.